Good morning and welcome back to the Essay Desk. This is episode 31, and today we are sitting with a topic on courage, the kind that does not announce itself with a trumpet. I have chosen this one because courage has been one of the most rewarded families on this paper across recent years, and because most aspirants still write it as if bravery means feeling nothing at all. That single misunderstanding costs scripts real marks, so let us fix it properly today. Here is the line we are working with today. The bravest word in any language is still spoken with a shaking voice. This sits in section A, the abstract and philosophical family, and it belongs to the courage and action versus inaction theme, which has appeared on this paper in 2020, 2022, and 2024. That makes it one of the hottest recurring families on the entire syllabus. So this is exam intelligence worth remembering, not just a nice sentence. Start by reading the line slowly. It does not say the bravest word is spoken calmly. It says it is spoken with a shaking voice. That is the whole tension of this topic. Most people assume courage means the absence of fear, some cinematic calm under fire. And that assumption is exactly what the topic is quietly correcting. The thesis I would hold through this entire essay is this: courage is not the absence of fear, it is the will's refusal to let fear cast the deciding vote. Write that sentence down, because everything else in your essay should serve it. Once your thesis is fixed, build outward through dimensions that each answer a question the last one raised. Start psychological, because you need to establish that fear and courage coexist in the same body. Then move to moral courage, the unglamorous kind. A clerk who will not sign a bribe, an officer who flags an unsafe file. From there, go political, because even a nation's founding document can be an act of trembling faith. Then complicate it scientifically, because sometimes the bravest choice is to delay, not to leap, and modern examples of institutional caution make this vivid. Finally, come back down to the personal and the philosophical, so the essay ends where every good essay should: close to an ordinary human being. Anchors only work if you interpret them, never just name them and move on. Consider a genuine account from 1947. An army officer with his arm still in a plaster cast, radioing headquarters that the enemy was 50 yards away and that he would not withdraw an inch. He was afraid. Of course he was. And he acted anyway. That is your psychological dimension made concrete. Now pair it with something recent and very different in tone. India's own human spaceflight program has repeatedly delayed its first crewed mission rather than rush an unready system into orbit. Read that correctly, and it becomes proof that patience too can be a form of courage, which complicates your thesis usefully instead of just repeating it. This is the single highest value skill on this paper, so listen closely. Never open an essay on courage with a definition of the word, and never open with "since time immemorial" or "in today's world." Examiners see those lines hundreds of times a day, and they signal a script that has not thought for itself. Instead, open inside a scene: the radio message, the trembling hand, the 50 yards. Let the reader stand there before you say one abstract word. Then, at the very end, walk back to that exact same image. If you opened on a voice on a radio set, close on that same voice, still shaking, still transmitting. That callback is what makes an ending resolve instead of merely stopping. Here is one possible closing line you could adapt in your own words. That voice did not stop shaking because the danger had passed. It kept transmitting because duty had not. Notice what that line does. It does not summarize the essay. It does not repeat the thesis word for word. It simply returns you to the opening image and lets it carry the weight. That is the craft move worth practicing until it becomes instinct. Let us carry 5 things forward from today. Decode the topic properly. Courage here means the will overriding fear, not fear's absence. Hold one thesis from your first line to your last. Move through your dimensions in an order that builds, not a list that repeats. Make every anchor argue something. Never let a fact or a name simply sit on the page. And open on a scene, then close by returning to it, changed by everything the essay has argued in between. That is today's masterclass. Preparing for this paper is a long, quiet grind, most of it invisible to anyone but you. And I want you to know that the discipline you are building right now, one paragraph at a time, is already a form of the courage we spoke about today. If you would like the complete brief with 2 full model essays and the examiner's own margin notes, do drop your email in the comments or write to team@upscdesk.com. Until next time, keep your thesis steady